Well, good day, Michael here. Welcome to another exciting cut test and review. Not really a review because, Christian, you've done a pretty good review on this knife that I've ordered. The generic, we'll call it the generic dc53, which Christian from Common Sense Knives has said is the best generic knife on the market from Aliexpress, and we're going to test that today. We're going to actually match it up to the Kershaw, also in D2, so DC53, which is a D2, and the common terminology is DC53 on steroids, yet to be proven. And we have Kershaw, a real Kershaw, not a Aliexpress Kershaw, on D2. This is my hunting knife, skinning knife, which I do use for those purposes. And you can check out the videos on that. It's not too many, but a couple, and it's been quite good so far. So this knife is interesting. It's quite well done, quite well finished. Everything lines up as it should, and it's nice and smooth. It has a sharp edge, so it should, in theory, strike a ferro rod. Yep, beautiful. So you're going to be able to scrape pine and stuff to get tinder quite easily, so quite nice and sharp there. No jimping, but you could add your own jimping without too much of a problem. Of course, this one's not going to do it because it's all rounded, but we don't use that for that sort of thing, even though I did a bit of a satire on the whole firecraft thing. This knife has a good versatility. It's probably, I don't know, Christian, you've done all the measurements on this, but I'd say it's 3.5 mil, 4 mil maybe, no, 2.7. 2.6, 2.7 mil. And of course, this one will be a lot smaller, 1.7, which is fine. Look, really, you're going to use this for hunting, a little bit of woodwork. It has got that shoulder there, so you could probably split stuff if you had to, but it's a flat grind, so it's not the best for that. And you can be slicing meat and doing those sort of things. It's almost a Kerper type arrangement here, where it's even spear point. So it drops from a spear point, and it's pretty symmetrical in the middle there of the blade. So quite nice. It's all about the steel though. Handle feels good, and it fits my grip pretty well, although again I do like jimping, especially if it's really sharp there. But you can't have everything. The sheath is just your standard plastic. It's not Kydex, it's just plastic, but it's pretty strong. Do the same job, I reckon. It's taco style, so you can put an ulti clip on there. I like to put my clips on this side so that I can get an angled clip. Never use these, I've got a whole stack of those. I don't know what to do with them. I would definitely put an ulti clip on that, but I do like the pancake ones better because I can put a clip on here and angle it back into my pocket. Minor point, is it sharp? Yep, very sharp. Beautiful actually. They're really doing a pretty good job now on these factory edges. And this is my edge. Will it match? Yes, it will match. So they're both sharp enough, hopefully. Hopefully there's nothing on that edge because it's just been sitting around for a while. I'm not sure what I did on that last So we'll find out, and just to revise, I've got new rope for these tests. Instead of using the old rope that's got grit and stuff in it, it's completely standard nylon rope. So I want to redo some of these tests. The beluga got 100 cuts, and what else did I test with that the other day? Slipped my memory for a second. Oh, is it the Kaiser? I forget which knife I tested. Got 70 cuts anyway. Come to me in a second. You get these mental blanks when you're recording stuff. Well, I do anyway. But it should come to me soon, I hope. But for now, oh, that's right, the Ganzo. Ganzo got 70 cuts, and the Kaiser in K110 got 100 cuts. So we'll be interested to see what the best knife on Aliexpresss Generic knife, according to Christian, dc53, what it gets. It does feel pretty good though, I've got to say. If it gets 70, I'll be happy. So we shall start off with that one, and then I'll try the Kershaw. So I'll do 10 cuts, and then we'll see if it's still slicing. When it stops on paper, that's when we stop the test. So let's get going. 10 cuts. To stop talking because I'll forget how many cuts I do. And remember, this is factory edge. Normally they get better after about 4 or so resharpens, because if they grind them and produce heat, it softens the edge. And so normally it can increase by up to 70%. So quite a lot, and that's what happened with the Kershaw. It got better as I sharpened it more and more. So it's probably not fair to test it, but we will anyway. Initially, and after I've done a few resharpens on it, I'll try it again. But for now, that's 10 cuts. I should write this down. And we're going to call it dc53. Write down 10. That should be fine. Yeah. That's good, because really bad knives are like 10 cuts, 15. So 10's good to start with. There's 20. The thing about these tests, you are cutting into the board quite a bit, especially when it flattens, because the rope's a little bit softer, it flattens more, and there's more cutting into the board. And it's very hard not to do that. So that's 20. And let's see. Yep. Beautiful. No hiccups there. So far, so good. The other trick is to make sure you're doing it at around the same spot. Number 10, this morning it was -2, -2, -3, and it's been windy and cool all day. It's not that cold, probably 13 or so today, but oops, just adjust that back. But pretty cold this morning, got to say. Just write that down, that's now 30. Might just swap over glasses, I think. Put them along. Maybe not. Yeah, I thought I grabbed them the way I did. Just so I can see if there's any glinting, which I'm hoping not to see yet. Just a little bit there. That's still pretty good. Keep going on that. That's 30, so that's good. Happy with that so far. If I can get to 70. Right, that's 40. Does feel alright to use this. Feels quite good in the hand. Okay. We'll give it 40, but it is starting to wear. See a couple of little specks, but I think the design of it, I have no idea what angle's on there. I'd say around 20. So probably 17 is going to be better for it, hopefully. That's 40. Does feel a little bit harder to cut through, so we shall write that down. It's 50. Slight hang up. No, pretty good that way. Maybe it is right on that belly. Yeah. There's definitely a hiccup there somewhere. Right there. Let's try another piece of paper. Right there. It's hanging. Yeah. Right on the belly. So I'm going to have to call it on 50. The rest of it's good. Just a slight hang up, but enough. All right. So 50 cuts, we'll call that. But like I said, it is on the first factory edge. So I would expect that after a few sharpenings to get up to around the 70 mark. That's what I'm expecting. We shall see. I wonder if this stuff, while I'm here, I wonder if it will work as tinder. What do I do with that ferro rod? And I'll quickly see. And the answer is no. Nope. There you go. And I've just put lots of ugly stuff on the knife, so it doesn't work as tinder. That's a shame. All right, what I'm going to do is do a cut test on this one and come back when I've got 50 cuts and see where it's at and film it from there. So I do believe this will be up around the 70 or so more, which isn't too bad. It's a usable knife. Is it the best of the best on Aliexpress of the generic knives? Big call. Big call. I don't know, but it does. I like the shape, I like the feel. It's a bit like the Joker Campero, except that Joker might come all the way up about a shoulder, and of course it's in 14C28N, I believe, the Campero, but very similar shape, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. And that would be probably 180 plus here in Australia for that knife, where this was, you know, around the $50 to $60 mark. All right, thank you, and we'll see you soon. Welcome back. So I've now done 50 cuts on the Kershaw, and there is a little bit of wear, so I don't think it's going to do as well as the petrified fish. So it's cutting through but I think we're on the way out. So we'll see how far it goes. It's on 50. It does feel better to cut, at least this rope. Right, there's another 10, which brings us up to 60. So I feel pretty comfortable that this is D2 still, but I'd say it's around 59, maybe 60 HRC. Oh. Yeah, looks like it's hanging. Actually looks like it's hanging there. That one's alright. Just a little bit of a catch. Very slight. And I can see some definite glinting, actually. So to be honest, it's not that much better, if at all better, than the best no-name brand knife on Aliexpress. Oh no, that cut. That one was all right, but I can see where it's catching. It's kind of slicing, but yeah, it's if you cut it fast, it kind of cuts through it. But I can feel that there's a definite catch. And really, it's not that much different. Maybe this is, yeah. Well, I'm going to stop it because it has got glinting. I can see where the edge is deformed, and I'd like to keep cutting with it, but really, I think that's got it. It's definitely catching. That one didn't. Yeah. All right. Both of them have just got that one little catch. They're both very sharp still. Even after all that rope, they'll both shave. Yeah, so they're both shaving sharp, but it's just got that little nick, and that's when we stop the test. So 50, 60, I reckon they're pretty much on par with each other. So you would have to think that maybe we were thinking this could be just CR5, but I don't know. Maybe with a couple of sharpens to get rid of that softer edge, this might actually be D2. dc53, don't know about that. but it's done reasonably well up to that point, as good as the Kershaw, which I think's in D2. Definitely catching. Oh, that went through that. Huh. Well, actually, that's... Man, I don't know. No, there's a catch there. Righto, there you go, Christian. Maybe it's not a bad knife. It certainly feels pretty good, and it's sharp. So it could be a good little bushcraft kind of knife, cutting meat, whatever. Good profile, feels good. Grip feels good, it's well finished. And yeah, probably not a bad knife. We'll see how it goes after a few resharpens. Have a great day. Bye.